Welcome to this podcast about how the design of AI can cripple critical thought. AI has taken the world by storm. In this short podcast, we look at AI and human thought. If not used appropriately, AI can severely interfere with human critical thinking. At first glance, AI feels like this incredible helper. It writes fast, it affirms your ideas, and it saves you time. AI seems to know something about almost everything. How amazing is that? But there are some risks you should know about. I want to give you 4 of them. I will share each of these risks with you, and I will also share with you some feedback and exchanges that I had with AI as I explored these ideas. You will hear the AI responses in a voice different than mine. Let's look at the first risk. AI tells you how great your thoughts are. Most of the time, it reflects your ideas back in a positive light. That sounds encouraging, but it actually short-circuits critical thinking. Because if every idea you have is validated, there's less reason to test them, question them, find evidence to support them, or more fully understand them. Here's a quick example. I asked AI, what if we used apple juice concentrate as a metaphor for leadership? AI responded by saying,
Using apple juice concentrate as a metaphor for leadership works well because it carries several layers of meaning. It's a good idea. That freshness can help you illustrate leadership concepts in a way that avoids stale cliches like vision is a compass or leaders are gardeners.
I then responded with, but I really like using gardening as a metaphor for leadership. AI then reaffirmed my new good idea by saying,
That makes perfect sense. Gardening is one of the strongest leadership metaphors because it already carries a long tradition of meaning.
While this might be a fun exchange, the AI model is agreeing with me no matter what I say, and there is no challenge or development of my critical thought. Let's move to the second risk. AI is designed to conserve energy. What that means is, the system will often reach for the fastest, shallowest, most generic answer it can produce. That's not because it lacks the ability to provide more complex responses, but because it is designed to be efficient. If a simple response is accepted, energy is saved. The problem is that shallow and generic answers are the most prevalent and the most accepted by users. AI explained this to me by saying,
Large language models are hosted on powerful servers with specialized chips designed to process huge amounts of data in parallel. Because the system has already been trained, generating a response is mostly about running predictions on the input text rather than thinking in real time.
People are also designed to conserve energy. So if the first AI response sounds good, we are more likely to accept it and move on. This is a particular dilemma for student learners, because many times a student doesn't know if the response is or is not acceptable. The combination of AI conserving energy and the person conserving energy results in generic, overly generalized, obvious information rather than more detailed assessment or analysis. If you accept those responses at face value, you'll limit your ability to learn and better understand a particular topic. AI then told me about good enough.
What people often notice is that AI tends to produce shorter, simpler, or more generic answers if the system estimates that will be good enough. This is efficiency of computation. The system has internal trade-offs. Generating a quick, average quality answer uses fewer processing steps and less computational energy than pushing for a deeper, more nuanced explanation.
If it's good enough for us, AI will not challenge us to engage more critically. Now, let's look at the third risk. AI creates an illusion of correctness or accuracy. Because it generates fluent and polished responses, it feels like proper and professional work has been done. The danger is that we confuse presentation with quality or accuracy. Because AI can deliver perfect sentences, our brains tell us that the information is credible and professional, when in fact, many times it is not correct or accurate. That illusion makes it harder to recognize when deeper assessment and analysis are still needed. AI told me,
Humans often equate polished language with reliable information. When a sentence flows smoothly with proper grammar and punctuation, our brains shortcut and assume that the writer also knows what they are talking about. This is called the fluency heuristic. The easier something is to process, the more we tend to believe it. AI exploits this unintentionally. By being consistently fluent, it makes its answers sound more authoritative than they may be.
And finally, let's look at the fourth risk. AI reinforces confirmation bias. When you ask AI a question or input an idea, AI often echoes back your perspective. If you start with an assumption, you'll likely finish with a reinforced version of that same assumption. That limits your ability to explore different ways of looking at an issue. This robs us of an opportunity to use critical thought. AI explained why it uses bias.
Language models are built to produce coherent continuations. If you start with a biased or narrow assumption, the easiest way for the model to stay coherent is to build within that assumption. Challenging it would break the flow and introduce a harder generative problem. So confirming your idea is simply the path of least resistance for the model.
Again, from an AI perspective, if what is shared is good enough for you, then AI will not challenge you to do more than good enough. And unfortunately, good enough touches on that which is obvious and does not help the user to do actual assessment and analysis. So when we put these four effects together, we are in dangerous territory. AI tells you your thoughts are great, it gives you a quick and easy response, it saves you time and effort, it makes you feel like progress has been made, and it reinforces what you already believe. When we, as humans, engage in critical thought, we have to do the opposite of these four things to be successful. Our challenge, when we use AI as a tool, is to be aware of these limitations and to very intentionally find ways to not let these limitations get in the way of our critical thinking.